Good morning and welcome back everybody. Thanks for your comments on the last video. That's great. I'll try a few of those things now. So let's start today with a quick test of the system as we did yesterday and see if there's been any change overnight. Make sure the voltmeter's on. Our probe in there. And we're on 0.8 volts. And it'll slowly climb up. It'll probably come up to about 0.9 volts is what I had just now. While we'll let that do its thing, let's have a look at electrodes. So I've got a piece of copper. I have a piece of zinc somewhere, but it's a bit big to fit in the tank, so we'll try that later. And we've got our what's supposedly stainless steel. Now someone said maybe it's actually the metals. So maybe this isn't proper stainless steel. It is conductive. Maybe it's got a coating on it, so we'll try a few things with that. But interestingly enough, if we put our piece of copper in there, and we come onto that one, we are still getting our 0.8 volts. Okay, so that is very different to what we get with this thing. And there, 130 odd millivolts. Now, interestingly enough, if you go into the water, we get our 0.8 volts. And if I touch the probe to the metal in the water, then we come down into the millivolt range. So even though the probe's in there, it's still dropping it. So it's almost like this piece of stainless steel something is absorbing the energy and blocking it in some way, even though we're in the water still. Previously, I've only tried touching it onto the top. So that's an interesting little effect. And if we do that with the copper, and we come into the water, oh, it's discharged quite a lot now, down in the 0.6 volts. And I'll do the same thing, I'll touch it to the metal, 0.8 volts. Off the metal, 0.75s, on the metal, 0.8, and off. There's a little interesting thing there, and if I just lay this on the top of the tank as one would like it to be, we come on here. I'm touching just the water, and the water and the metal. Okay, well, current. Let's have a look at current. I already know that there's nothing there. Let's just turn this on to ampage. And come on there. Nothing. Right, so nothing on a direct short. Okay, on with the next bit. Have a little think about this, see what we think any of this means, and then we will try something else. Let's take a closer look at these bits of stainless steel. We just come on a couple of probes on there. Right. Okay. What's our resistance? Just under 1 ohm. Around the 1 ohm mark. Okay, so it's conductive. Ooh. Oh. Squashing it a bit. So there's not a coating there making it non-conductive, but maybe there is something on it. So I think I'll put this over the gas burner, heat it up, and then we'll have another little look and see if that changes anything. And I'm also considering doing a copper oxide coating on here, because there are 3 oxides of copper. There's a green one, the salmony red one, and then the black one. Can't off the top of my head remember which oxides are which. One's a copper sulfate, and then there's 2 oxides actually. If you're familiar with Keshi's work, you'll have seen putting pieces of copper in a bath of caustic soda, if I remember correctly, to create a black nano coating. So I guess we could have a little play with that sort of thing. But let's just start off with cooking this and see what happens. Okay, cook that one off. Well, we've got more millivolts than we had before, because now we're into the 340s. Take the probe off, put it straight in the water. 0.7, touch it to the mesh. Okay. 0.3 of a volt. Straight in the water. Straight to the mesh. Out of the water. Well, that's different to what it was before. Nearly a whole volt over there. Let's take out the salt bridge. And that. Try that. It's done something, isn't it? All right, have a little think about that. Okay, there we go. So I've heated this up on the gas and create some copper oxide on the end of it. And now if we just come on there, we have 1 volt. So that's actually produced more voltage now. That's great, and it's really stable at 1 volt. Let's have a look and see if we can get any current yet. Not seeing a lot there. In fact, seeing nothing there at all. Okay, so there's no flow. Oh, my plate's moved. Hang on, get back in there. But I have a whole volt. Progress. Now we just need to get it to flow.